Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oof, ouch, that's gotta hurt. We've been covering over the last couple of weeks how the mainstream media has been attempting to convince us of this fantasy that there's mass Trump voter regret out there. Clearly, it's a desperate gaslighting attempt to convince people that the America First movement is falling apart, but exactly like I've been saying, the real story is the exact opposite. And while they're scrambling to manufacture buyer's remorse, what we're seeing on the ground, again, is less the collapse of the GOP and more so a sustained, snowballing, disastrous collapse of the Democrat Party. Folks, the GOP base is not shrinking, it's solid as can get, but you can't exactly say the same for the Democrat Party, as more and more lifelong Democrats are jumping ship. And we got another high-profile example here, as the former Los Angeles County Sheriff takes to the podium to announce to the world that he is done with the Democrat Party, or as he calls it, the party of pronouns. This disastrous era for the Democrats continues. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so it's exactly as I describe it. Here's the headline: I am leaving the party of paid protests, purple hair and pronouns. Former LA County Sheriff roasts Democrat Party as he announced he is switching to the GOP. Take a look.
As of today, and if you have cameras, get them rolling. Share this on social media. As of today, I'm leaving the party of paid protests, purple hair and pronouns. I'm joining the party of faith, family, and freedom.
Yup, that's Alex Villanueva, the former top law enforcement officer of one of the most liberal counties in the entire country. He just took to the stage and absolutely nuked the Democrats into oblivion. They're in complete free fall, folks. It continues day by day. It just gets worse and worse for the Democrat Party, but for some reason, every time you turn on the TV, they never cover any of this stuff. No, it's always the opposite narrative. I wonder why that is. It's absolutely insane. I mean, could you imagine seeing this kind of a high-profile individual going absolutely nuclear on the Republican Party and Donald Trump and announcing their exit from the party? You wouldn't stop hearing about it for days, weeks on end. But now this is happening, and the mainstream outlets aren't even covering it. It's as if it doesn't exist. It's funny how they keep talking about the Republican Party collapsing under the weight of Donald Trump's failures in his first 100 days in office, but provide little to no attention to the fact that Democrats are sitting at 20% approval rating. They're such little narrative freaks, it's unbelievable. The Trump base isn't shrinking, it never has. It's been growing since day one of Donald Trump coming down that golden escalator. Trump voters are absolutely loyal, and the left will keep calling it a cult, but that just proves their lack of understanding. Trump's base is built on something that the left can't manufacture, and I guess that's where there's a disconnect in understanding. It's built on loyalty, not blind obedience, not celebrity worship. Maybe sure there's a little bit of cult of personality, but that doesn't mean it's a cult. The loyalty of the Trump base comes from results and authenticity. The Trump base is incredibly sticky. People feel as though President Trump, unlike any other politician in modern history, well, he promises something and then he actually does it. He either delivers or tries to deliver. And he's put his neck on the line to deliver those results. He's put himself in the line of fire, metaphorically and literally, to fight for the American people's interests. And so the sticky support for Donald Trump, well, it's grounded in satisfaction, trust, and loyalty. And for some reason, the mainstream media thinks that they could dismantle that, they could pull that all apart with a couple bogus headlines. Not gonna happen. I mean, if all the January 6th fear-mongering didn't work, what makes you think people are gonna ditch Donald Trump because he delivered on his tariff promise? And that's another thing, we see all these Democrats and all these clowns in the media making this claim that what Donald Trump is doing isn't what his voters voted for. I keep hearing that. But again, the exact opposite is true. This is exactly what voters voted for. Donald Trump's been talking about widespread tariff use and tackling unfair trade for nearly a decade in the political realm, and even longer before that. So people knew exactly what they were getting into. The Trump base isn't going anywhere. But maybe sure there might be some independents who aren't loyal to the Trump cause, and they're signaling discontent. But those people are fickle, they come and they go. And the idea that's being presented is that those people have ditched Donald Trump Trump, and they're now flocking to the Democrat Party. But this is not happening. It's not reality. They may not be perfectly happy with everything that Donald Trump's doing, but as we've covered previously, it sure as hell doesn't mean that they're now willing to vote for Kamala Harris. No, the viable Democrat alternative is not there. Now, probably more accurately, the Democrat Party is facing total and utter collapse. Let's go ahead and use that to segue to the next story here. Another example that for some reason, the mainstream media just isn't paying any mind to. Florida Democrats scathing 7-word rebuke as he quits the dead party. State Senator Jason Pizzo is the third Florida Democrat to leave the party this year.
We are supposed to be here not to engage in juvenile antics, but to protect our environment, promote our small businesses, and protect our families and our first responders. We should be finding ways to provide economic relief to our constituents, not taking their money to create more bureaucracy or fund personal political activity. And despite what social media surfing may try to lull you into believing, the political party system here in Florida is nearly dead. I care about people. I don't care about politics. I care about my family and yours, not a title. I've long had a feeling, confirmed, I think, empirically by 7 years of service in this chamber, that partisanship holds us back rather than propels us forward. Less gets done, not more. I am not in this position because of Democrats. I got elected because of NPAs, the 3.7 million people who have no party, who have no representation. They are those that put you here as well. I consider all of you my friends, and I think stripping myself of a title of a party designation allows me to run free and clear, clean and transparent, and help many, many more. I really truly do care about all of you. But here's what I'm not going to do anymore. I'm not going to pander. I'm not going to rule and lead on probation. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm excited for this. This makes me happy and clean and clear. And here's the issue. The Democratic Party in Florida is dead, but there are good people that can resuscitate it. But they don't want it to be me. That's not convenient. It's not cool. The party that my dad volunteered for in JFK when he was 18 years old in 1960 is not the party today. It craves and screams anarchy and then demands amnesty. That's not okay. I've always been criticized by the far left and by the far right. But you know what the small businesses and the hardworking families and the teachers and the cops and the firemen want us to do? Be public servants, not politicians.
We got Democrats in Florida declaring the party dead. But for some reason, when you turn on CNN, you don't see this stuff. It doesn't exist. I'm telling you, they're narrative freaks. The reality is the Trump movement is still growing. It's got its base support and more people joining, seemingly every day. And not just regular voters who like what they see, people who can see past the media hysteria and understand what the end vision is, but also people of power and influence that are switching sides. Trump base is expanding, and the Democrat Party is in full-on collapse, and it's no surprise why. They're just not a serious party anymore. It's an unhinged clown show that nobody wants to be a part of. The party of paid protests and pronouns. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.